Good morning, everyone. It's Sunday, July 6th, 2025. I'm Reverend Cherie Ruffo, and today we're going to be continuing our series on the affirmations and denials. We're going to be looking at doing a deep dive into identifying subconscious patterns. So, as we talk of them, continue this series on affirmations and denials, have you ever caught yourself saying something like, I'm just not good at that, or I could never do that? And then realized, wait a minute, where did that belief even come from? Today, we're diving into those quiet, hidden thoughts that shape our lives and how we can lovingly transform them. I first came by the teachings of Guru Deva when I studied a book called The Lemurian Scrolls. And it's at a Hindu monastery. You think, wow, Cherie, when did you go to India? I didn't. The monastery is in Kauai, in Hawaii. And it might be surprising to hear that, but on this beautiful island sits this Hindu temple, and it has a massive crystal under it, and it represents their god Shiva. And the temple's founder, Satguru Siva Subramanian Swami, hopefully I got that right. He was known affectionately, and I'm going to can call him Guru Deva. He wrote this book called The Lemurian Scrolls in the 1990s. Well, it was published in the 1990s. I'm sure he spent a lot longer time writing it. And it was surprising because it identified Hawaii as an ancient land of Lemuria. And he believed in the transformational powers and this power within us, the affirmations, just like Unity co-founders Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. And the one thing that, as I've been studying about him and looking what he said, and looking at his readings, is that truth is truth. So affirmations aren't unique to Hinduism or unity. It's a truth that's echoed across spiritual traditions over time. I think in unity, we spend more time on denials, releasing the things that, aren't true or don't serve us than many other faith systems that I've seen. But all of these faith systems talk about what we believe, especially subconsciously determines what we experience. And most of our self concepts, positive or negative, have been shaped by early voices, parents, teachers, society. But the best part is that we can change that. So your invitation this week, as part of this series, is I invite you to reflect what limiting beliefs might still be sitting quietly shaping your reality. I know that we've been working on this, we've been unearthing some things, but we're going to dig a little deeper, find out what still might still be there. Where did they come from? More importantly, are they true? Because most of the times they're not. And you can shift these inner stories. We can make that change and we can change our lives when we do that. And what we're doing when we look at these and we start creating affirmations to change that belief into the truth of who and what we are, or we start create a denial that we can release what was never true about us, we're releasing old patterns. We're not bringing success into our lives that was never there. We're removing the veil that told us we couldn't. That's really important. And I'm going to repeat that again. We're not bringing success into our lives that was never there. We're removing the veil that told us we couldn't. Because when we affirm our truth, we override the subconscious script with spiritual intention. So many of us over time have developed negative self concepts about ourselves by what people tell us, what we believe about ourselves and our experiences. We may not even be aware of what these concepts are because they're subconscious beliefs. So this week, as you inventory what negative thoughts you have about yourself, we're not going to do it from a place of self condemnation. We're just going to observe it and ask the question, where did they come from? Parents, teachers, friends, relatives, spiritual leaders, mentors. All of these help to mold what we think about ourselves. But the best news about this is you can change any negative beliefs about yourself, people in your life, and the planet itself. Because when we do this, we change the outcome of our life. We talk a lot about mass consciousness. When enough people make that shift, change that story, we see that change in our lives. And we're not bringing success into our lives that was never there before. Remember, we're removing the belief that we can't have success, and we're opening that path to the truth and success for ourselves. Because the truth is, you're a magnificent human, having a fully human and a fully divine experience. And when you can balance that fully human part of yourself with the fully divine part, you're opening the doors to life you've always wanted. Because balance is the really important part. Coming in here with that dual, with the duality that we do, being fully human and fully divine. We don't want to just be one fully human or just completely fully divine. We won't, divine sounds good, but we won't be balanced. We won't even be able to probably stay on the earth because we'll be floating. So we want to be able to bring that balance in to create the life you want. And in Guru Deva's teachings, he said, power of affirmation changes and remolds the putty light substance that makes up the subconscious areas of the mind. For years we've repeated the sayings and statements, attached meaning to them in our thoughts and through listening to ourselves speak. This helps us form the life as we know it today. For the subconscious brings into manifestation those impressions we put into it. So therefore, if your life isn't what you want it to be, we're going to have to change that subconscious pattern and increase its vibration. So we're going to take these ideas that we have, new ideas, new concepts. We're going to think about it, remold them with affirmations. And what it creates is a magnetic force that draws it into our lives. And at the same time, we're creating the denials, the things that no longer serve us, that we're able to release. And this is done through the power of affirmations and denials. And there's so much wisdom in what Guru Deva says, because it also affirms what our teachings are. I do highly recommend reading the Lemurian Scrolls book that he wrote. It is highly esoteric. It's not about affirmation, but it is a wonderful read. You can find there's a lot of profound teachings about the land of Lemuria, or Mu as it was also called. And if you search for the Lemurian Scrolls on the internet, you'll find it in a free PDF format. But part of what the teachings that came forward that he learned from Lemuria and what he knew as a Hindu guru was the importance of affirmations and denials. In my own life, my husband and I say affirmations together at night to untrain our subconscious beliefs, to replace them with true statements. So we talk about what truth statements do we want in our lives. When we say these affirmations every single night, 3 times, we say them out loud together so that we're adding the power of the spoken word. But we don't just say them and move on. What we've done beforehand, and we do every night, is we have a visual concept of each affirmation and see that as ourselves. So for example, one of ours is, I am radiantly healthy. And as we say that, we see every one of our 50 trillion cells light up and listen to the affirmation. So the affirmation, part of it is its walking orders to ourselves, overriding what may be in our subconscious. Those beliefs may be something from life if we've lived long enough. It might be something like if you live long enough, you're going to eventually you can fill in that blank, whatever it is. I hear that a lot as a minister. This helps us undo the unconscious belief that we can't have, do, or be something that we would love to be. So when Guru Deva taught about affirmations, he kept it simple. He didn't say to use long, complicated affirmations. You should have seen my original ones that I created. They were really long. In fact, Guru Deva said we need to simplify this. And he had 3 statements to make. I can, I will, I am able. And I'll say that again. Very simple. I can, I will, I am able. And his recommendation was to say these statements 50 to 100 times a day to change the belief that we can't do something. And for Many of you who have taken Stretton Smith's 4T prosperity course, you're going to remember Stretton had us say, I am prosperous 100 times per day to change our negative belief about prosperity. And I remember tackling them all at once or in tens or figuring out the best way to say that. And then Candida came along and made it easy for us because she turned it into a song with 100 simple I am prosperous to music, and it helped a lot. So as you find these, you think about this, you find these unconscious beliefs or things that you might want to change, like Candida did, make it fun. Turn it into a song if you like. Create a coloring book with it. You have your affirmations in it. We can there's a lot of apps we can create them in and print them out, but do it in a way that you're going to have feeling behind it. So, what brings the most feeling for you? What works for you? This isn't about anybody else. This is about you. And when you do this, you're going to change the patterns of your subconscious beliefs. For example, the Lord's Prayer. When Jesus was asked what the perfect prayer could be, he used the Lord's Prayer as an example. He created it. He didn't mean it for something that would be repeated without feeling an intention. He was showing us what we could create. It was an example that you can use to springboard to create your own prayer with feeling and intention, or say the Lord's Prayer as it is with feeling and intention in every word you say. It's okay to say that prayer. We just have to stop and center ourselves and say it with feeling and intention. And Eric surprised us when he wrote his version of the Lord's Prayer. He wanted to be able to put the most feeling intention behind it, and beautiful. So think about, what prayers are important, what you want to say, and just it's the feeling and intention behind it that changes everything. So if you feel that your subconscious is not accepting, statements, keep it going. So when you start to say your affirmations and it says, well, should I keep doing this? Keep it going. That's when it's the most important. I mean, as many of us know, we look at Unity co-founder Myrtle Fillmore, denial about illness. She was told to get her affairs in order. She had about 90 days left to live. And instead of doing that, she decided to focus on the belief that she had that she was going to die because she had tuberculosis. She said, no, I'm not going to accept that. And she created the denial, most famous one in Unity. As a child of God, I did not inherit illness. But she didn't focus on the illness itself. She focused on her belief that she inherited this illness that would kill her. So she already accepted, as a child of God, the meaning behind that is, as perfect child of God, we're created in the image and likeness of God. So as many of you know, it took her 2 years to fully heal, but then she lived a very healthy and productive life for 46 more years. Life was on her terms. When she passed at 86, she was ready. She even walked around that day saying her goodbye. She wasn't sick. And then she went to bed, and her spirit left her body. She lived intentionally, and she died intentionally. So going back to what Guru Deva said, I can, I will, I am able. And what will happen as you believe these statements? The subconscious will not only release the thoughts that don't serve you and aren't true, the subconscious will begin to create situations that match your beliefs. That's amazing, right? How long does it take, you ask? It might happen immediately or in a few weeks, months, years. For Myrtle, it was 2 years. Whatever your belief is, know that there's no right amount of time to do this because this is your process. There's no positives or negatives or failures. It's that simple. It's as simple as I can, I will, I am able. And if you want to simplify this further, you can say, I am. We know in the Bible that Moses received the statement, I am that I am. Simple. Think about it. I am states our divinity that I am enough. I am enough. The power words I am state who you are. The words I am that I am, think about that, how powerful that is. So this is how I understand this statement. I am becomes, for me, I am fully human. That I am becomes I am fully divine. Think about that statement. It's a belief. It's stated so simply. I am that I am. It recognizes the divinity that lives in you, that is you. Or you can put it, I am a human, but I'm also part of God. That's what made in his image means. You and everyone else on the planet is made in the image of love. So simple, so clear, we don't have to complicate this. I am a part of the creative source, piece of God. You are a part of the creative source, a piece of God. Every person on this planet is a part of the creative source, a piece of God. And when we can look at everyone else like that, we go get along a whole lot better, but also we can do so much more. So this week, as you come up with your statements, think of this in easy statements. I am. What are you? You want more love in your life? Say what you are. I am love. How about health? I am health. And keep it going. I am peace. I am prosperity. And most importantly, I am worthy. You want to think in terms of what you are not? You want health? Accept your perfection, and say, I did not inherit illness. You want a full, happy life. I did not inherit unworthiness. Right? Simple. So creating affirmations denials, simple, and make sure that they're statements that honor who you are. So why don't we take a moment now and say our affirmations? We're going to say, I am that I am. And we're going to say it 3 times. With feeling, feel every cell in your body light up. Feel that fully human, that fully divine that you are. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. And you'll feel your body release that. Accept it in the most loving way possible. How do you feel with that? Should feel good. I am that I am. So we're going to say our affirmations for the week. We're practicing a lot here, but it's good. As we feel our affirmations for the week, I will say them quietly first. I will say them in my normal voice, and then I'll say them with lots of feelings. And what I'm going to, right now, is we take the principles that we're looking at with our unconscious beliefs today. Just take a moment and feel every cell in your body light up. All 50 trillion cells are listening to what you're saying, and you're saying it with intention, with feeling. So, I am that I am. I am radiantly healthy. I am prosperous. I am peace. I am worthy. Take a deep breath in on that. Feel those cells are listening. They're standing attention. They're waiting, knowing that they're getting instructions from you. I am that I am. I am radiantly healthy. I am prosperous. I am peace. I am worthy. Another deep breath in, release as you're ready. I am that I am. I am radiantly healthy. I am prosperous. I am peace. I am worthy. Feels pretty good, doesn't it? As we'll move into meditation with this, so I ask you to just this morning just to take a deep breath in and then slowly let it go in your own time. Again, a breath in. Feel your body soften and release. In this quiet space, bring to mind one belief about yourself that you're ready to let go of. We silently say to ourselves, I no longer need this belief. I thank it for its role in my life, and I release it now. We'll take a nice deep breath in and release on that. And now we're going to let a new truth rise. I am loved. I am whole. I am worthy. As we let that root into our hearts, our bodies, our being, everything that we are, we can go into the silence. We feel it in every cell of our body. You feel the warmth and the heat and the cells lit up and listening. You are rewriting your inner script. You are returning to truth. And for that, we are so grateful. We are so grateful that these truths are there, shared with us in the most amazing ways. I am that I am. So just notice what comes up for you with this. What truth, and maybe what isn't so true that might be in your subconscious. You know that you are beautiful and radiant, child of God. And that's the only truth there is. And as we let all the other things drop away, we feel more luminous, more engaged, and we become not only the authors of our lives, but the authors together writing the story for this planet. If, as we hold for all health, we see perfect health. We know that every cell in your body and all the bodies that we're holding and praying for and beyond, we see them around the planet, are whole and complete because that is the truth. We see prosperity in every area of our lives and lives on this planet. We feel that joy, that inner joy that rises up from within. It doesn't come from anything outside of ourselves. And that joy leads to that peace that we so desperately want. We want it for us and we want it for our planet. And we begin to understand this truth can only mean one thing, that we come from this field of love, soup of love. All of us do. It can't be any other way. So as we feel ourselves enfolded with all of these truths, we take our energy and rise it up together. Rise up in our communities, going to the places as we hold this morning, especially Kerrville, Texas, where the floods are. We wash it in love. As it rises up throughout our country, we see peace. We see peace where it most desperately needs to be. Rises up around the world, going to places where people are asking for prayer, answering those requests with love. We see peace in the areas that need it the most. We feel this energy of love surrounding the planet. We affirm peace and love and wholeness for all. We're so grateful for all of the masters and the guides, the teachers who have taught us these truths, especially Jesus, our way showers, who came at a time when there was no evidence of peace in his world. And he knew the truth and he taught it. For that we say thank you. And so it is.
You're a masterpiece, a light for all the world to see. You've come so far, and you've survived. Every moment shaped your fire inside. You're so bold, don't you hide it. The world needs your strength, don't deny it. Hold your head up high and own it. This is your time, you've always known.